On this show, we're getting busy with all aspects of plumbing. First, how to cure a dripping tap.
That's just a bit of air in it.
How to plumb in a washing machine.
And it all seems to be going so well.
And finally, I'll show you how easy it is to replace the taps on a basin. But before we get started, let's meet the two lucky people who'll be assisting me.
My name is Neil Hunt. I live at Stoneleigh in Surrey with my wife and my 2 children.
I'm Jo, and I live in my new flat here with my daughter Coral in London.
We've been in this house for probably about 10 years now, and I've really tried to do DIY, but occasionally I get it wrong.
I used to think that my DIY skills were quite good until I actually moved here, and then I found that I wasn't quite as good as I thought. Well, this is my problemed tap, which I'm hoping that Tommy might be able to help me out with. When I turn it on, it's totally fine, but if I move it, as you can see, the water comes down and drips down onto the floor. So I'm hoping that Tommy's going to be able to help me out with that problem.
Last Christmas when I came home to find water pouring out the ceiling like Niagara Falls. I'd been doing some plumbing previously and I must have broken the joint and the water was just coming down. There was nothing I could do. I had to call out a plumber, cost me a fortune and nearly spoiled Christmas.
I'm hoping that Tommy's going to teach me some plumbing skills because I already have leaking taps here and I've had a few disasters already with plumbing. I'm getting a new dishwasher, so I'm hoping that Tommy may be able to teach me a little bit about plumbing in things and also may be able to give me some tips on my leaking tap.
So they're going to be my little helpers, and it looks like they've come prepared.
Morning.
Got your toolboxes?
Yeah.
Already?
Well, you coming for the weekend then?
Possibly.
All right, well, why don't you come in, have a nice cup of tea, and we'll discuss what task you're going to do today. But first, I think I'll have a quick kit inspection. This looks like another very interesting day at the DIY Academy. This is a real dinky little toolbox, isn't it?
Yes, there's my slot in it.
Well, I do notice you've got 1, 2, 3 measuring tapes.
Well, I usually leave them somewhere and can't find them and then have to buy another one. It's a bit of a disaster, really.
I feel this is going to be a very bad day. I'm not going to talk any more about your toolkit. Let's have a look at yours, what we've got here. Ah, so you're a car mechanic and you do a bit of carpentry on the side.
I do a bit of everything, yeah. That's right. Multi-purpose tool, really.
Right. Really, it's just a wire coat hanger. Right, enough of that. What I want to really see is what's in this James Bond attaché case. Wow, look at that. Now that is quite a comprehensive, almost professional toolkit. Actually, there's quite a lot of good stuff in here. I do like this though, this is very nice.
That was handed down from my father to me. That's one of the tools that I've sort of inherited.
And what did your father do?
He was a carpenter.
Oh right, has he passed on that ability to you?
Not at all. I'm not very good at DIY at all, really. I have a go at lots of things, but there's certain things I don't touch, and certainly plumbing is not one of my fortes.
What about you, plumbing?
No, absolutely dreadful, and I've got loads of leaking taps and everything at home.
Well, that's really handy, because today we're going to spend all day learning about plumbing. Right, well, our first task today is to cure a dripping tap. Okay, have you had any problems with that?
I've got exactly the same. My taps are dripping and I don't know how to take it apart to do it.
Before you do anything, I know it's stating the obvious, but you must turn off the water. So you've got to locate the stopcock, which will normally be under the sink or by the front door. Here it is, and you turn that off. If you've got a combi boiler, this will shut off both the cold and hot water supply. But if you've got a conventional boiler, you'll also need to shut off the valve on your hot water tank. So turn off the stopcock and you can check that the water's off by opening up the tap. And when it stops running, you know you're okay.
Right.
The next thing to do is to take that off there. Now, this cap reveals the screw that holds it on. Another little tip is when you do this, always put the plug in the sink, just in case you drop something, the rubber or something, at least it won't go down the plug hole. Take out that grub screw and then take this off.
What were you saying about keeping the plug in?
See? Told you it would come into good use. Lucky I put the plug in, otherwise we could have lost that screw. Take this out here, put it onto the body here, and go anti-clockwise. Take your time with it because you don't want to damage the body. Right, now this is the body of the tap. That's the washer and there's the O-ring. Those are the only two things that can normally go wrong. Just take it off like that.
So if it's leaking, is that because that's worn through or whatever?
That's normally what's happened, yeah, it's worn through. The washer screws onto the end of the spindle and the O-ring just slips over the side. Okay. Once you've replaced them both, just reassemble the tap and the drip should be cured. I hope you're watching very carefully, guys, because
Oh yes.
you're going to be doing the next one. There we go, there's the job. Now watch, if I turn that off, let's just see if the dripping stops.
Yes, that's it.
Excellent.
It's literally as simple as that. Well, it may be simple, but how will plumbing novices Joe and Neil cope with it? The tools they'll need are an adjustable spanner, a cross-headed screwdriver, and a selection of assorted washers and O-rings. Let's see how they get on.
I'll start then and do the easy bits.
Once they've unscrewed and removed the tap head, they need to carefully remove the spindle using the adjustable spanner. You often release trapped water at this point, but it's nothing to worry about.
Okay, so we need to take off the first one.
Well, they seem to be getting along okay, so why don't we leave them to it while I show you some more DIY. Replacing your kitchen worktop can completely transform the room, and here's how to do it. First, measure the dimensions of your old worktop to work out what size your new one should be. Remove the old one by unscrewing all the fixing brackets on both the wall and the units. You may also need to cut through any mastic fixing it to the wall with a craft knife. Place your new worktop onto your units and push it back against the wall. To make your work surface fit snugly, make a small offcut of wood just wider than your biggest gap. And with a pencil held against the outside of the offcut, run it along the entire length of the worktop. The resulting line is an exact profile of your wall. Carefully cut along the inside of this line with a jigsaw. It should now fit perfectly. All you need to do now is refix the worktop to the units and wall, then run some silicone mastic sealant along the join to waterproof it and give it that professional looking finish. Meanwhile, Joe and Neil have replaced both the O-ring and the washer and are ready to refit the tap. Next part. The screwdriver and the screw. That's it. Works. But now the moment of truth. I'm going to drop that and turn on the stopcock. That's just a bit of air in there. Well, that works, and there's no leaks. A perfect repair, well done.
Thanks very much.
Why don't we have a recap just to see how we did that. Turn off the water at the mains and also at your boiler if you have a hot water storage tank. Carefully remove the tap head and spindle from the fitting. Remove both the washer and the O-ring and replace with new ones that match. Replace the unit and finally turn the water back on. Well, Joe and Neil made a very good job of that. I've got plenty more in store for them just after the break. Good morning and welcome. So far on my DIY survival guide, our two trainees Joe and Neil have got their hands dirty. Or should that be wet, fixing a dripping tap?
That's just a bit of air in it.
Now let's see how they cope with their next task. So you guys feeling confident?
Yeah.
Successful first task. Well, your next task is going to be fit one of these. A washing machine. Have you ever done that?
No, my brother does mine.
And I got my builder to do mine.
Right, well, people think it's a difficult process, but it's not really very difficult to do. Now, a few rules to follow, and I'll show you what to do, and then I want you then to repeat that process for real by fitting this under the sink in the kitchen. But for the purposes of explaining, we're going to do it here on this piece of board which we've prepared. This is roughly the arrangement of pipes you'll find under your sink. A waste trap or U-bend, and the hot and cold water feeds that you attach your hoses to. filter side to the washing machine, rubber washer side to the water pipes. And it only needs to be hand tight, so you don't have to use any grips on it. But you must tighten it fairly strongly. You've got to get it home all the way, okay? Once you've connected both the cold and hot pipes to your water supply, the next thing to do is connect the waste pipe. But what we need to do is put that on first, because you're going to need a Jubilee clip, and then slide this hose down over the spigot end of the waste, okay?
How far does it have to go down?
Well,
Right
just,
to the end, does it?
just push it down until you've got it down as far as it can go. There's a ridge there, that'll be the top of the spigot. Then you bring up this Jubilee clip and just tighten this down. Now the reason I'm doing it up here is, number one, so you can see it, and number two, it's a lot easier for me to do this up here than it is to do it underneath the sink, which you shall find out very shortly. And the tools they'll be using are a screwdriver, a spirit level, and a drill with a cabinet cutter attachment. Well, there you are, guys. This is your theatre of operations.
Looks a lot different in there.
Yeah, but all you've got to remember is the crucial elements of the information I gave you earlier. You've got to worry about this one, and this one. They also have to worry about how the pipes are going to get from the back of the washing machine to the supply under the sink. If your unit is sealed like this one, you'll need to make a hole in it, and that's where the cabinet cutter comes in. Bear in mind you mustn't drill through the sink.
Right. I'll tell you if I see it come through then. Alright.
The hole should always be right at the back of the cabinet to allow your pipes to feed through from the washing machine.
That's it, well done, through.
See?
Right, feed them pipes through. Remember which end goes where.
The filter on the machine, I think, is it?
Well, they both seem to be getting on okay, so why don't we leave them to it while I give you some more DIY tips. A door that sticks instead of swinging can drive you round the bend. So here's how to sort it out. There should be a slight gap between the edge of the door and the frame. So run a thin blade around the door to find out where the problem is. Try rubbing the problem area with a candle. If this doesn't help, you might need to remove a build-up of paint. Strip the paint off the edges with a scraper and sand the sticking area down. If sanding the edge doesn't solve the problem, you'll need to get out the plane. If the problem is on the outer or top edge, you can hold the door open with a wedge and work on it in situ. But if the problem is between the door and the floor, you'll need to take it off its hinges to work on it. Take a little off at a time and check the door frequently. But don't get too carried away with the plane, because if you found the sticking door annoying, living with the draft will drive you absolutely crackers. Meanwhile, Neil and Joe have successfully managed to connect the washing machine to the waste and water pipes and are ready for the next phase of the job. That's jolly good. This is a brand new washing machine.
Right.
And there's one thing that you must always do. When this washing machine is transported, they fitted transit bolts. You have to take them out. If you don't,
Right.
it will damage the washing machine. With the transit bolts removed, the washing machine is ready to be put into place. But a good tip is to turn on the water before you do this, as this is the best time to spot and cure any leaks.
Oh, we've got a leak.
We have.
We've got 2 leaks.
Quick, turn the bolt
Turn the valves off. And it all seemed to be going so well. Yeah, you haven't done these tight enough, that's what the problem is.
Oh, right.
You've got to squeeze down on that washer. You know that black washer that was inside?
The one that was, yeah.
That was fixed inside. You've got to squeeze that nut down so that forms a seal. That's it. Just give it a good tighten up. Now we've sorted out our leaks, we're safe to connect the washing machine up to the power and push it into place. Oh, well, I won't push it right the way in because we won't be able to test it. What I want to do, the last thing, is to test its level, because it has to be spot on or else it will rattle all around the kitchen. So now, the moment of truth, who wants to turn the button on? Because I don't know how to work a washing machine.
Yep, there's the water coming in. Should we check what's in here?
Oh, you've done this before. No leaks, it's all working fine. Tell you what, guys, very good. You feel confident you can do it yourself?
Certainly now,
Yeah, definitely.
So why don't we just have a quick recap and see how they did this. Drill a hole at the back of your sink unit using a cabinet cutter. Feed your pipes through and connect them washer end to the water pipes, filtered end to the machine. Remove the retaining bolts if you have them, turn on the water and check for leaks. Push the machine into position, check its level, then throw a load in. The next task I've got for you, which is your final task today, and that's to change a set of bath or basin taps in a bathroom. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to do it, and then you two will go into the bathroom and actually do this yourselves. But basically, imagine that's the basin tap sitting on the basin. Okay? And what happens directly underneath that and directly on top of the basin is this rubber washer, and it seals that so no water gets out. Because underneath that, the other side of the basin, you have this locking nut, and this is made of plastic, so it doesn't need any washer at all. You just tighten this right away up underneath, and that locks this in position. And then underneath that here, you've got a tap connector. So the feed pipe comes up with a tap connector, and that just screws onto here.
Right. Right.
And it's as simple as that. That's all you've got to do. Right, now, what I haven't told you is that it's in a rather difficult position. The tap connectors under any sink are usually wedged right up against the wall. So in order for Neil and Joe to undo them, they're going to have to use one of these things, called a basin wrench, which is specifically designed for the job. You couldn't do it with an ordinary spanner or an ordinary set of grips. What one other thing do we have to do?
Turn the water off.
Well done. Before you do any plumbing installation, any change at all, turn off the water. Well, I've done it already, so I just thought I'd ask. All Neil and Joe need to complete this job are 2 new taps, a basin wrench, and some plumber's PTFE tape.
Right.
Which side are you going?
I'll go hot.
Go on. I'll try for cold then.
And while they're settling down under the sink,
Oh my God.
I'll be watching their every move on my secret spy monitor to see if they do a proper job. I have to be very careful because they're only the other side of that wall.
Let's push it up a bit. I think you might. Oh! There you go.
So Neil's doing the first one.
Now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, that's that one.
They can obviously work the spanner okay. That's the water pipe off. So now he's got to remove the retaining nut.
Yeah,
Got
there
it.
we go.
New
Right.
tap.
One new tap.
Looks much better.
Great, they've got the first tap in. Very good.
That's good.
Well, they seem to be getting on famously. So why don't we lead them to it while I give you another top plumbing tip. Oh, you caught me doing a little job. Do you ever have a problem with your overflow pipe? What's that? When you're laying in bed and you can hear the cistern filling up constantly. When you go out in the garden, you've got an overflow pipe and the water's pouring out, it's running down the wall. Now this is where it stems from. You have the cistern in the toilet. Now, when you flush the chain and all the water disappears, you have a ball valve inside that adjusts the water level inside here. And as that float comes up, that eventually will shut this ball valve off at the correct water level. Now, if it's overflowing, what's probably happened is this ball valve is shutting off too late and letting the water inside the cistern build up too high and then pour out the overflow pipe. It's a simple job to solve it. Just take a simple screwdriver, slotted one, and there's a threaded bolt inside here in the cistern, and all you do is actually just turn that and adjust it to close the valve down earlier. That lowers the level of the water, shuts it off, no more water going out the overflow. End of job. Excuse me now, let me get back to my paper. Go on, off you go.
How's that?
Neil's managed to get his tap on successfully. So now it's Joe's turn to wrestle with the
Good
wrench.
job. Right.
I don't like the sound of basin wrench against
Really
basin.
good for the wrench.
Yeah, it is. It's just the confined space that's really making it so difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. That's good.
Putting it back on is going to be easier than taking it off.
That's it. The rubber's there under the seat. That's good. Put it in.
I think I'll get a job as a plumber now.
Good chance, yeah.
Right, how do you think that is? I think that might
That's
tighten
it.
up.
See?
Have a
That's
look.
the evidence. He's just said, I think it's okay. So we'll just go check up.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's okay.
How's it going, guys?
We're there. What do you think?
I'm just going to go and have a look and inspect it. Very impressive, guys. Nice and tight. Yeah, well, I knew that it was going to work.
How?
I've been watching you on a monitor.
Oh,
Yeah, right next door behind this wall. So I've seen everything you've done. And I must admit, I did fear at one time when you were using the basin wrench and you were a little bit over eager, and as you're trying to force it, it came off and it hit the basin and went
right.
ping. We could hear it in there, and I thought, you've got to learn to be just a bit patient. But I've got to say, it's not an easy task, and I've got to give you 9.5 out of 10 for that.
Excellent.
But we need to test whether it's going to work or leak. And what have we forgotten? To turn the water on. I'll go and turn the water on. While I go and do that, why don't we have a quick recap? First, turn off the water and disconnect the pipes to the taps. Unscrew the retaining nut with a basin wrench and remove the old taps. Fit your new taps, remembering to put the washer on the unit first. Tighten the retaining nuts and reconnect the water supply. Let's see if Neil and Joe have done it properly. Wow, perfect. You see any leaks? And that's perfectly dry. And you've managed to get cold and hot in the right spot.
Yeah, Joe did that. I didn't check.
Oh, you didn't check?
I didn't check.
I looked at the old ones.
Well done, Joe. Yep, that's good. That's very important. I tell you what. Come on out here. I tell you what, I am so impressed. Do you know what? You've been my star pupils here today. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Certainly have, yeah.
Yeah,
It's been good fun.
loads.
Will you attempt to do some yourself at home then?
Tonight.
Tonight?
I'm going
That's
to try
soon.
my tap.
That's soon.
Yeah, I'll certainly have a go now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll certainly have a go at plumbing now.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Star pupils, as I said. Why don't you join us again next time for some more DIY?
I think the tip that I'd really take away from the day is actually the preparation. Where Tommy said you must prepare before you start the task. Make sure you've got the right tools for the task and think ahead. Plan for the job, and then it'll go that much better.
It's really an achievement, really, I think, because I wouldn't have even looked at unscrewing a tap or doing anything towards plumbing at all. So it's quite an achievement for me, and I won't be scared of trying anything at home now.